I just wanted to start out by saying that I really did enjoy the thread of Human Touch and Development by Sarah Kaplan. I thought it was very interesting to read and learn about what she had read. It personally piqued a point of interest there that the kids in the that she related the monkeys back to the kids in the orphanage, and that, you know, that even further made me think about what we had talked about in Psych 1101 with Jeannie Wiley, that she was left in that room alone for 13 years, I think, with no human contact at all. So it was very interesting to see the differences in how the child progressed. That, yes, Jeannie Wiley's case was, you know, a lot more extreme than, you know, the orphanage that we talked about, that, you know, going that long without touch was going to make the kid grow up to be socially awkward and, you know, have tendencies to be more aggressive towards other people. But it was really interesting, to me at least, to compare that the child development that, you know, she was dealing, Jeannie was dealing with missing her critical period of linguistic acquisition or language acquisition, whereas, you know, the other two kids were more dealing with personal, social kind of contexts in development versus language. If I had to explain this to somebody who was not taking your class or hadn't taken a class in the past, I would say to relate it to dogs. This is because you can adopt a dog and it can be more prone to aggression, regardless of what your personal opinion is, regardless of what my personal opinion is. But it is perceived that the dog, if it is older when you adopt it, will be more aggressive towards humans because it has been mistreated in its life, like not being touched for 6 months, like in the orphanage we had talked about with the kids. Not that dogs and kids are the same way, but this is kind of a way that you can relate it back to somebody who's not very adverse in child development or child psychology. So I think that it was very interesting because, you know, dogs do have an exception of, you know, a lesser evolved brain, making them more prone to allow for that forgiveness and allow for the aggression to, you know, decrease a little faster than the child's. But, you know, if you leave the dog alone for 6 months untouched by a human or, you know, a parental guidance figure, adult type person in its life, then it's going to be untrained. It's going to have a slight aggression towards humans. You know, they're unfamiliar. Like, it's the same thing for a child. You know, if you take something away from it that it's had, and then, you know, it's going to react in a negative way. So I think that it reacts because the same aggressive nature and awkwardness of not receiving that touch for 6 months is very relatable to dogs and adoption, older dogs.